Okay, guys, we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am struggling to get my live stream bandwidth to the correct level. Alright, cross your fingers. Cross your fingers, ladies and gentlemen. It is clearly lower than the right now. Let's see if I can get this adjusted real time as we stream now. Because if I can't stream this, it might struggle to stream the other stuff. You know that. Let me go ahead and give this a shot. I'm going to make a little change here to my live stream settings that might make things just a little bit simpler and might help us get the streaming that we need. As you're rolling in, please do leave a comment. Please do say hello. Every click counts and every comment matters. Your chat will be on screen, so do be on your best behavior. And away we go. Welcome back to the Mining Market Signal. My name is Seth and you're watching Mine Your Biz. Today we're going to go over some of the basics of the market. This ought to help us quite a bit having just a static screen, so we don't have to worry about too much of the bitrate causing trouble during our live stream. Will be a little bit more podcast style for today, so no motion background for us. So sorry guys, sorry, not sorry. This is just what we have to do in order to get the best possible playback on today's stream. We are streaming from a laptop, so do be sure that you hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. I do see some potential lurkers. My analytics tell me that you are not all subscribed, so do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so that you know when new media is coming out. Today's Fear and Greed Index score is 21. We are in extreme fear, and we're kind of living in extreme fear as of the last several weeks. Taking a look at the trend, scroll on down, you can see very, very clearly that we've got a bit of an issue there with that extreme fear. And I don't see signs of this changing anytime soon. This is just a bit of an issue. It's the condition that we live in for a while longer. We've got various kinds of interference from large-scale buyers, whales within the space, and then institutions that are interested in getting in on the price action for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other major cryptocurrencies. So I don't expect to see this change anytime soon. Let me know in the comment section, though. What do you think? Martellus is our lurker today. Thank you for saying hello. As you know, again, your chat is on screen, so try to keep it PG, right? Family friendly. Let's take a look at some of the reason for this particular Fear and Greed Index score, though. This is an irrational market, and it responds a lot to the emotions of the news cycle, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news. Well, what's the news? Lee Hodel, and links, of course, to all the articles that we cover today are in the description of this video. You can follow along if you'd like, or read at your leisure after this live stream is over. And pop the text size up just a little bigger for you. But as of right now, Rio de Janeiro, the Brazilian city, almost 7 million people is there. They intend to invest 1% of the treasury funds into cryptocurrency. Eduardo Paez said that the new investment strategy at the Rio Innovation Week, or announced it there, said that it may offer discounts to residents who pay their property taxes in Bitcoin specifically. It says, we're studying the possibility of paying taxes with an additional discount if you pay with Bitcoins. You take the discount of the single quota of 7%, it would be 10% if you pay in Bitcoin. And they're working on a legal justification or basis for doing that so that they can keep this discount ongoing. I was on a live stream last night with the inimitable Crypto Blood and talking about this discount. Let me ask you, let me put it to our audience and ask you, would you pay your taxes in Bitcoin if you thought there was a 10% discount offered for doing so? This is a sticky question for a lot of people. Not everybody is happy to pay their to let go of their cryptocurrencies, least of all their Bitcoin. Would you do that? Would that be enough of a draw for you to let go of your precious Bitcoin if you saved 10% on your taxes? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Appreciate you playing along on that hypothetical question there. But Rio de Janeiro is offering that bit of a discount if you are willing to pay in Bitcoin. Would you do it? I don't know if I would, but it is an interesting strategy on the part of Rio de Janeiro. It might actually get them to do two things: increase their treasury position, their holdings of Bitcoin, But then also, it might get them to incentivize people who live in the area who may have been opting out of certain tax programs in order to start opting in, because they can pay in an alternate currency as opposed to just the Brazilian real. But I don't know. By the same token, literally, no pun intended, or pun intended, people may just want to hold on to their Bitcoins, and they may want to pay their taxes in the Brazilian real, which is in a little bit of a distress, right? Been issuing a distress signal. But moving on, guys, Walmart filed documents to launch a cryptocurrency and join the metaverse. This is kind of big news too, in my mind. Ooh, Latrell says the audio keeps cutting for me. Maybe that's only me. Well, let me do this. I'm going to decrease my audio stream by cutting out. Let's see. No, still got the background loop there. It looks like actually my entire stream is cutting out, guys. I apologize for that. Let me see if I can make the jump without having the stream totally cut out. It's very likely that it will just cut out, though, so bear with me. Let me see what I can do about this. And let's see, are we back? Are we back? I think we should be back. And did we salvage it? Let me know in the comment section if you're hearing my voice. I think we should have a full connection, and we should have been able to solve our issue from before. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're hearing my voice all right, without any difficulties. I would love to know that things are going to be okay as far as you hearing my voice. Can turn on my motion background there. But give me a thumbs up or give me some kind of a comment, positive comment, letting me know that you are hearing the current live stream back with full strength. Apologies for the technical difficulty there. Oliver chimes in and says, yes. All right, so we do have confirmation that we are back. But moving on to the news segments, guys, Walmart has filed a document to launch a cryptocurrency and join the metaverse. This is a longer report by Jordan over at Crypto Potato, but here are the Cribs notes. It says CNBC reported initially that Walmart filed with U.S. authorities about getting involved with the metaverse late December. We talked about this briefly, that Walmart is joining in. You may remember the short video that I posted on the channel making fun of a virtual Walmart experience, and I'm going to stand by that. It might be a little bit strange to have that happen. Stereo 2 jumps in and says, better now. Hey, I appreciate that. I am using my laptop to stream today, so bear with me. We're still working out some kinks there. We should have a much upgraded mobile experience over the next couple of days. I'm afraid it is necessary for me to continue to try this, guys. Thanks so much for being game while we do these live streams and improve the production value of, or the production quality of the live stream. But the bottom line is Walmart wants to allow its users to shop for electronics, home decor, personal care, basically everything in their catalog from home, but by reviewing the merch first in a virtualized space, the metaverse. And I've got to say, this is an idea that predates current Web3 ideas. It predates current Web3 narratives and current Web3 platforms. There are many companies that have been trying to create an AR or VR space for retailers like Walmart. And this is a bit of a dream come true for these people who want to be able to display merchandise in a virtualized space, a la, Second Life or other platforms where buyers can then purchase within that virtualized space, but still get a solid sense for what something looks like and what it might look like, say like furniture, for example. Many furniture e-tailers have been able to have launched augmented reality applications that allow you to place a couch or a bed or an end table or a lamp or a nightstand or something into your home by looking through your phone and getting a pre-visualized version of what this would look like once you buy it. This is not particularly new, and I wouldn't say it's the most revolutionary idea, but the fact that Walmart is interested in this, I think, bodes well, both for Web3 and metaverse concepts. I really do think this is a positive thing. Walmart moves more merchandise by way of supply chain than easily the next two competitors combined. They really do. And while we may be upset at them here in the United States for taking up so much of the Main Street businesses that used to be the lifeblood of our economy, the fact remains, they still move the most product over any one of the big box stores or any of the brick and mortar retail locations throughout the United States, and even in some cases internationally, smaller territories internationally. So having them be on board with a concept like this, I think, is the perfect proving ground for whether or not it can work in the metaverse. But you tell me. Let me know in the comments what you think of that. It says Walmart made 7 separate applications, one of which wants the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to greenlight the firm to launch its own cryptocurrency and take advantage of the rapidly growing popularity of the NFT space. I think that's essential for them if they want to be able to sell certain products and make them redeemable at the point of sale and provably scarce, so they can tightly control inventory, vouchers, and other things. Not entirely necessary. They can do their own hashing system and their own inventory system that doesn't necessarily require NFTs, but imagine being able to transfer a purchase from a digital store, right, and over to somebody that you bought a gift for and having them redeem that NFT, that voucher, at a brick and mortar location, a bit like how a wedding registry may happen today at certain brick and mortar retail stores. It could be revolutionary. Might not be all that different from the current system, obviously, but if we are going to push into this new territory, then somebody needs to go first, and why not let it be Walmart, right? Apparently, a trademark attorney referred to Walmart's licensing attempts as super intense. He says there's a lot of language in these which shows there's a lot of planning going on behind the scenes, but how they're going to address cryptocurrency, how they're going to address the metaverse and the virtual world that appears to be coming, or that's already here, he added. So, yeah. So it's very, very interesting that they have so much in-depth planning going on here. But again, I'll mention for the record, the idea of shopping in a virtual space is not new, and Walmart is definitely incentivized to get people to do this. They need to continue to compete with the likes of Amazon and other online marketplaces like eBay that are decentralized marketplaces. But you tell me again in the comments, what do you think of this? Do you think this is net positive? Do you think it's net negative? Do you think it'll amount to anything, or do you think that Walmart is barking up the wrong tree? Should they go for centralized systems only and try to come up with their own idea of just an augmented reality workspace or a virtual reality merchandising space? But you tell me in the comments, guys. Want to hear from you. But moving on, as far as the news, that's the latest news today from Bitcoinist.com. The AP is going to introduce a photograph NFT marketplace based on Polygon. As you know, if you've been watching the show for any length of time, I'm a bit of a fan of Polygon. Oliver Mayhem makes a comment, "You look jacked, mind your biz." Well, I appreciate you saying that. Let me tell you a little bit about this photograph so it doesn't seem too weird. I was using not a portrait lens, but I was using a telephoto to wide lens in its widest setting. So my arms look a little bit bigger in this photo than they are in real life. But this is also from a time where I was not quite competition ready, but I was in better shape. So my arms actually were jacked at that time, far more than they are now. Try to keep in shape, but this is unsustainable. No, I'm not on I'm not on TRT. I don't use hormones. I just like to work out and eat well, and I like trying to stay healthy. But thank you for noticing. I'm flattered. Thanks so much. But the Associated Press is going to have an NFT marketplace for their photograph collection. This is huge. The Associated Press publishes all kinds of photographs that do require attribution if you are to use them, and they do require licensing if you want to use the Associated Press's media. So being one of the largest publishers internationally of various different types of media that could be used for reporting, I think this is a really good step in the right direction for them. But it's interesting to me that it's going to be based on Polygon, not on Ethereum, not on Avalanche, not on Solana, not on any of these other third-party platforms. I think it's huge that it's based on Polygon, and I think it's huge for a lot of reasons. It's not Ergo, not Raven, obviously, of all the different cryptocurrencies that it could be based on. It's not based on any of these alt NFT platforms. It's based on the bedrock of DeFi and NFTs, Ethereum standards propagated onto a commit chain, Polygon. This is huge, and we'll talk about this more in depth in the coming days and weeks. I'm in touch with a writer who's putting together a fairly comprehensive article, press release about Polygon, its security model, and some others. I'm really excited to see what they have to write. They've asked me early on if I would do some coverage of it, so we'll see that in the near future. But I'm excited to see that the Associated Press is jumping on board with NFTs for their photographs, and that specifically that they're using Polygon. But tell me in the comments, guys, what do you think of that? Let me jump back. Some comments have come in about some of the other news articles, specifically Walmart, and it looks like we've got Stereo 2 saying everything that helps crypto is welcome, in my opinion. I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Paper Chasen is in the chat as well and says Walmart NFT equals an in-store discount coupon potential. Yeah, it could be huge. It could be coupon. It could be some kind of a loyalty account, right? It could be gifts for other people. If it's transferable, which it should be if it's an NFT. There's any number of things that it can do. If it uses something along the lines of the ERC 1155 standard by Ethereum, it can be a nested account that holds all of that information and purchase history and more. It could be the replacement for a doxable account that allows for zero knowledge proof of identity. So instead of it being tied up to your phone number or your personal persona, right? That's then tied to your social security number or your real world identity, it could be something else entirely. I'm excited to see what it is that they have in store, though. And I think that's a great contribution there, Paper Chase, and thank you for offering that. Also follows up and says they could partition off a small percentage of the company's profits in NFT rewards. Not likely, but doable. Yeah, absolutely. Could be dividends. That's great. Does gotta expect the photography leaders of the world to eventually pop up with their spin on NFTs like Kodak and Fuji. Yes. What I'll say is that Kodak, unfortunately, made the mistake of trying. I think they shot their shot a little bit too early. Last bull run in class of 2017, they saw the opportunity and then they jumped in sometime in 2018, and I think it was a swing and a miss, big time, on the part of Kodak. But maybe they'll come back. I hope that they do. I hope they do something along these lines. Maybe the Associated Press's announcement will help them get it right this time. Maybe they'll partner with Kodak and Fuji. To your point, could be huge if they did. 9H057 says, I'm a bit behind, but keep your BTC and get a better accountant. Plenty of tax deductions and incentives out there to save you 10%, with reference to the Rio de Janeiro news. And I appreciate that as well. Yeah, I agree. I think if you can, better to just hold on to your crypto. But the AP, huge coming up. And what are they showing here? They are showing Ethereum versus USD. Pretty big. I love that it's on Polygon, though. Again, tell me, what are your thoughts on Polygon, boys and girls? Are you pro Polygon? Are you anti Polygon? There are definitely strong feelings either way in this space. I've found people really getting this sense that, like, nope, Polygon is distracting away from Ethereum, or Polygon is not good enough, it's not secure enough, or Polygon is too centralized for my liking in some way or another. What do you think? Tell me in the comment section. I'm not going to tell you what to think. You know I'm excited about it. But what do you think? Tell me in the comments, the live chat, or in the comments below this video, guys. Additional news from Daily Hodl. A 30% rally for Bitcoin is likely just around the corner, they say. I don't know if I believe this, but that's their take on it, or that's them reporting on Justin Bennett's analysis for the Bitcoin markets. They say Justin Bennett says that a sizable rally for Bitcoin is a very likely scenario in the coming days. In a strategy session, he took a look at patterns in Bitcoin's historic price that shows, and that he says show a 20 to 30% rally is coming up for the largest crypto asset by market cap. He says since early 2021, whenever Bitcoin sees a massive price dip, it usually falls below that point again in the following days or weeks before rallying. According to him, Bitcoin may be in the phase of the process where it's ready to surge. And then shows a little bit of his own analysis here, right here, precipitous dip again. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I believe this. He's trying to look at fractals here, and it's interesting. It might not be wrong, but yeah, it could be. Maybe we are going to see a surge back up. But here's the thing: if we fail to go back past a certain level, as he's got outlined here, then maybe there's just more pain ahead where we continue to dip lower. That's always a possibility, right? It's like your mom used to tell you, right? Don't ask, can this get any worse? Because it just might. It really might, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and block that element. That's just annoying. We don't want to see that, guys. Get out of here. All right, that's more like it. But you tell me in the comment section, do you think we're legitimately looking at potentially a 30% pop upwards, a leg up in the current Bitcoin price action? I'm doubtful. But yeah, you tell me what you think. Have you been doing a little bit of work on this, a little bit of homework? Are you seeing something in the tea leaves or the fractal patterns that you think indicates a 30% rip upwards in Bitcoin? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing that potentially if we don't get if we don't cross some kind of resistance upwards, then this is wishful thinking. This is somebody trying to tell permabulls that their worldview is right, trying to affirm to them that they're going to be okay. And I don't know. I'm okay with delivering bad news. And I think the bad news here is this is probably not likely. But, what do I know? You guys tell me what you think in the comments. You think this is possible? I got my doubts, but maybe you know something I don't. Moving on in the news cycle, guys, we got Myanmar, or formerly Burma, their democratic group looking to add Tether after the failure of the Myanmar dollar. This is huge. I think this is actually quite huge. The idea that they may want to not only become a dollarized country or add dollarization as a financial imperative to their economic system, but specifically jump over dollarization into using a sort of a quasi CBDC, using just a stable coin instead of the dollar. In brief, they got the crib notes here. Say Tether has found its use in Myanmar as a form of civil protest against a military junta. The use of Tether was started by a pro-democracy group, and it remains to be seen whether Tether will prove an effective form of civil disobedience to military rule. But I think that's great. This is what cryptocurrency is supposed to be. The one concern that I have, and maybe you do too, is that there could be the possibility of the Tether group being willing to shut off the wallet balances of this group, right? Of this pro-democracy demonstration group. It's entirely possible, not only with the Tether group, but also with Circle and the USDC stablecoin product. If this group were asking for advisement, I know I would be saying you should be looking at something along the lines of DAI, or some other sort of seniorage coin, or some other sort of algorithmic stablecoin along the lines of Liquidity. Yeah, I just said it. Liquidity, which is now available today on Polygon. So if you do want low fee algorithmic stablecoins, it's a bit like its version over on Ethereum, but with the fee structure of Polygon. You tell me, guys, what do you think about this? Groups trying to circumvent the problems of their failing economy by dollarizing their initiatives and using Tether. Is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? I don't know. Let's see. Latrell jumps in and says he's pro Polygon. Drinking Milk says it can go sideways longer than you think. Yes, it can. Bitcoin price. And then he says, I don't see a 30% uptick, but I hope there's a 30% uptick. Yeah. Hey, there you go. Yeah, totally true. Drinking Milk says, well, could retrace. Yep, it's always possible, guys. For my part, I'm not comfortable issuing legal, financial, or business advice, nor am I comfortable offering any kind of trading or investing advice or TA. That's not what I offer on this show. But I'm struggling to believe, after we've moved not just sideways, but we've dipped downward for so long, struggling to believe that we're just going to magically pop back up and see a 30% leg up. I don't know. I'm a little bit incredulous, but maybe that's part of the reason why it could happen, is because of guys like me saying, well, I'm doubtful. I'm emotionally conditioned to seeing red. So maybe that's precisely why it will go back up. But, I'm not going to stake my money on that for sure. Not today, and not based on Justin's prediction there. But that's our news cycle there, guys. Let's take a look at txstreet.com. I love seeing the visualization here, but apparently they've got not just the visualizer for gas prices, they've also got some additional visualizations happening, including the top movers on OpenSea and NFT stats. I'm kind of excited about maybe adding this to the content. At this point, they're showing quite, a little bit here. Clearly, they've got some excitement about at least one project. They may or may not be investors. Nudge, nudge. Yeah, that might be happening. But we see some others here as well, which it's worth taking a look at. It looks like 24-hour sales is what they have as the stacked ranking. It looks like it. Maybe I'm off, but we can adjust that for hour percentage gain or 24-hour net percentage gain or loss. and then volume over 24 hours. There's a lot going on here. Floor pricing as well. I'm just excited to see that this is finally happening. I don't know that I saw this anywhere else. Looks like Sandbox Snoop Dogg land sale. Wow, Snoop Dogg killing it right now with a floor price of 1,000 Ether. Now, is anything moving? I don't know. Looks like over 24 hours. Nope. But it looks like there are 4 different owners, so maybe that's already been minted over into other people's wallets. Maybe it's been transferred immediately. Looks like there's only 7 of those anyway, so 7,000 in total. 7,000 Ether in total to own the amount of land that Snoop Dogg is selling right now. Is it worth it? Time will tell, but looks like there's an inverse correlation between floor price and movement here, if I had to guess, right? Like the higher the floor price here, the lower the movement over the last 24 hours. But there have been some sales of Bored Ape Yacht Club. There have been some sales of Bored Ape Chemistry Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club. Looks like everything that's kind of already incumbent is doing well. Let me kind of pop that text size up for you a little more, see how far we can push this before it starts to blow apart. Looks like, there we go, only that high. But are you into NFTs? Do you think this is a good trend? I'm not convinced that it's that the stuff that's selling right now is the stuff that should be selling. I think it's proving some of the use case, but it's not necessarily proving all that useful. Let's see. Paper Chasen jumps in and says, using Tether to fight injustice is crypto being used at its best. Hey, I love that. Yeah, I agree. Too many NFTs sold with so little volume. Yeah, man, right? That's what I'm saying too. I'm seeing a bit of a problem here. Let's see if we can move things up. There we go. V Friends also with some sales, but really high floor price. I don't know that I care about an NFT that has a 12 Ether floor price moving over the last 24 hours. I can safely say I don't care about that at all. It doesn't speak to the needs of anybody in our group here. Certainly not at-home miners or mid-scale miners. I don't know anybody here who's dropping 12 Ether on anything except for upgrades to their home infrastructure for mining or to like personal expenses. It's kind of a silly thing in my mind. I don't know. This just seems way too speculative at that kind of a floor price. Let's take a look at 24-hour sales, though. See what's been moving by way of volume. This is where I'm a little more excited. Looks like Asian main collection, Thingdoms NFT official, Lil Heroes. This is what they were showing before by way of NFT stats. It could be that they are invested in that, so I'm a little bit concerned about that. 24-hour volume is missing here, though. Could be on a chain that is just not showing eligibility, or it could be that the current 24-hour sales has to do with more of an airdrop than anything else. Maybe the floor price is artificially set. Don't know enough about it to speak to that directly. But this is interesting, guys. Do you want me to cover this stuff on a more regular basis? Do you want me to show this particular visualization over on TX Street? I think it's useful. And I think it may help us kind of make our entry into NFTs and play to earn content, which, as you know, I've been warning about it for a while, will be an upcoming content stream for Mind Your Biz. Also considering setting up a second channel for that. Yeah, I mean, that you heard that right. I'm actually thinking about working on a different channel just for that sort of stuff. You tell me in the comments, guys, would that be the way to go? Should everything related to NFTs, play to earn, and all of this market, would you like me to totally segment this onto a different channel? Because if so, I can do that. And I think maybe that's the way to go. That's kind of the direction I'm inclined to go. But as you know, I always want to get your input. I want to know whether or not it's serving you and your interests and your needs. Let's see. Paper Jason says a pure degen channel is always needed. Hey, I love that. Maybe I should go that route then. We just call it pure degeneracy, and we leave everything over there. Take a look at their happening tab. I'm curious to see what's going on here. Oh, hey, this really is. It's OpenSea. Just an OpenSea happening right now. That's cool to see the real-time visualization. It was about time they did this too. But also Uniswap transactions. That's cool. Not updating while hovered. Okay, got it. Got it. I won't hover then. Thanks, guys. Hey, people liquidating their hex. Strange. Everybody else is saying that's not what you want to do. Yep. Thousands upon thousands of hex, tens of thousands of hex being liquidated right now. Somebody's just enjoying some profits, taking themselves some healthy profits there. All right, guys. ETH gas fees. Let's take a look at current gas price. Looks like we can adjust for EIP 1559 and also have some advanced parameters. Let's take a look. Ooh. What? Hey, yeah, we see our base fee, see our TX count, and how much gas was used between all the transactions going through in that block. It's so amazing to see that, too. So almost 300 transactions going through. EIP 1559, what are you showing us right now? Ooh, priority fee versus the max fee. That's cool to see that rich data added right there. Love it. What do you guys think? Download the Chrome extension? What? No way. Okay, looks like TX Street ETH gas prices. I think I'm actually going to do this at some point. Though I'm not on a Chrome browser right now. For this live stream, I use LibreWolf. Yeah, I just use LibreWolf. Vampire jumps into the chat and answering the question about NFTs, says NFTs, blah. Yeah, no, I hear you. Maybe that is the high sign for me to do some segmentation between content channels. Maybe I do a less frequently published DGen channel or kind of variety channel where I go with the NFTs and I go with more of the pop culture stuff, NFTs, tech reviews, and maybe video game play. Maybe I leave that off this channel for right now and I just stick with straight ahead token reviews, tokenomics, and mining, right? Our portfolio, especially our mining portfolio. Keep it over here. What do you guys think of that? That work for you? Then we can kind of keep the main thing. We just talk about how to mine, hold, and trade cryptocurrencies. We don't worry about the NFTs quite so much. Paper Jason says, NFTs are the baby crawling, but they need to be programmed to do more, like open doors or reserve exclusive positions. Yeah, you know what? That's really not that bad. I hear what you're saying. There's definitely some stuff like that I've seen in the news lately, where there are exclusive unlock codes. We could be doing reservations for Airbnb and other locations or other kinds of accommodations like that. We could be programming NFTs to basically do limited time key fob programming of people's phones for automobile reservations, right? If you needed to get a rental car from someplace, you could potentially create an ephemeral key for keyless entry, right? And a push to start on a car that you just rented and never have to interact with an agent at the point of sale or pick up the key fob itself. You just turn your phone into the passport for your accommodations, both a car and a hotel or an Airbnb. Wouldn't that be cool? I think it's possible, right? If we can make sure that the security protocols are in place for those devices, then why not have an NFT to grant limited access within a certain window? Right? I think you're totally right. We are living below our privilege there. Take a look at our gas fee structure right now, though, guys, on txstreet.com. And I'm going to just launch it intentionally. Don't want to put on auto launch. Using LibreWolf, guys, this is a fork of Firefox. Right now, it's basically my favorite web browser. I love it so much. It's lightweight, it's lean, it's mean, especially on my slightly aging laptop. Only 12 gigs of RAM on this laptop. This is my favorite web browser. Barely takes up any memory usage at all. And it's pure open source and doesn't add any of the weird telemetry that Firefox does now. Vampire says, hit that thumb button, guys. Appreciate that, right? It's like Tinkerbell, right? The page will load faster if you hit the thumbs up. So appreciate you doing that. Or maybe it won't. Oh my gosh, maybe I've got my settings to be a little bit too restrictive on this. In the meantime, I'm not going to worry about it. We saw our ETH gas prices, and I think that's the bottom line of what we need to take away right now is that current gas prices are somewhere along the lines of 150 Gwei. Oof, you hate to see it, man, on Ethereum especially. Maybe we can come back to that in a minute. Currently on DeFi Llama, though, what I'm seeing is that we have lost market dominance for Ethereum. And it's a bit of a shocker, right? Market dominance has been sliding towards 60% for a number of weeks. I've been talking about it being on a slow but steady descent. And then it started to level off, crab sideways, and drop down, level off, crab sideways again, right at about 62%, 63%. Here we are taking another dip downward, though. And what's taking its place? That's the big question, is what's actually gobbling up that in between? Well, I think it's spread across several different protocols, but it looks like Phantom is taking the biggest leap forward. So within, relative to its own market cap, Phantom basically seeing a near 50% upward move in market share, but in the overall TVL for DeFi chains, that only represents like 1 basis point, right, for the entire DeFi markets. But within just its own ecosystem, Phantom's really coming up. It's really surging forward, really pushing ahead. 114 protocols currently on Phantom and over $7.8 billion of value locked. It's catching up to Solana pretty fast. Solana, of course, has backslid quite a bit, though you're not seeing it right now. But yeah, there it is. The 7-day change. Phantom 50% up. It's huge, absolutely huge. So let's go ahead and sort this for 7-day change. We see some others like Stacks Protocol coming up by 800%. But when you're talking about TVL of now just now over $100 million, that means that before this point, it was below $100 million and not quite nearing the $1 billion mark yet. So Stacks Protocol, I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll see it come up even more as Miami Coin and other of the city coins get launched. If NYC Coin becomes a reality, maybe we'll see this Stacks Protocol ranking jump up even higher, even faster. Who knows? But Fusion looks like it's also doing a similar thing, right, where it's up by almost 400%, but that just barely puts it over $100 million as well. Metis as well, it's now over $280 million. Songbird, ZYX, others, they don't have the same TVL as the rest. But let's get into that over $1 billion mark. TVL, and Phantom is just slaying right now. Just killing it at 50% up. Cardano as well. And I've been saying this for a little while, guys. I was worried that I've not been giving Cardano a fair shake, that I've been a little bit too harsh with Cardano in my commentary towards it. And it has me a little bit concerned that, yeah, I'm not going to do right by the Cardano ecosystem or by Cardano holders in the audience. Now, am I a huge fan? No, I'm not. But I think right now the market is speaking favorably about Cardano. And I think I'd be doing you a disservice if I tried to just like dump on it or only say negative things about Cardano. I think this merits more investigation. I think seeing some of this move upward, right? Here we are. Yes, it's only $2.6 million, but it is a big change. And Cardano itself is a big market cap project with a lot of holders. So it makes me wonder about, where we go from here. You see the MCAP to TVL right there, where it's this huge ratio where there's so much more market cap for the TVL to grow into with Cardano because there's already so much interest in the project itself for Cardano. But you tell me, guys, would you like me to stay away from this? I'm thinking I probably need to take a look at it. But if you definitely need me to stay away, speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm not getting married to Cardano, but I am kind of open to the idea for sure that I need to cover projects that are making moves. And I think that Cardano is beginning to do that. Osmosis, well over the $1 billion mark, up by 30%, also gaining a lot this week. You love to see it. I've been saying it for a while, guys. Cosmos and the Cosmos ecosystem is not to be underestimated, and Osmosis is proving it. They're proving it. Now they're over $1 billion. They're going to be on the leaderboard for the stacked ranking. Let's go ahead and go back to our TVL, and we'll see, right? And on that above the fold area here, right, it's in our top 15, nearing the top 10. Osmosis at number 11, hot on the heels of Chronos. It could take that number 10 spot if Arbitrum does not manage to gain more market share, or if it does manage to pull back a little bit, we could see Osmosis even moving ahead of Arbitrum before long. Taking over the Tron, that number 8 spot, we've got quite a bit more TVL to load into the Osmosis ecosystem before we see that happening. But Osmosis stands a very real shot of jumping into that number 9 spot. Guys, you heard it here first. We got to pay attention to this stuff. Protocol support is the name of the game, and Osmosis doesn't even have full protocol support shown here. It just shows the one protocol. But that's not entirely true. It's just not, guys. There's more than just Osmosis on the Osmosis protocol. Plenty of trading pairs and plenty of other IBC related projects that leverage Osmosis, guys. Let me ask the audience again, who here is down with the IBC gang, the Cosmos ecosystem? I've been warning you for a while. I intend to cover it. Have you been hearing what I'm saying here, guys? Because I haven't been tricky about it. I've been very open about the fact that I want to go into covering Cosmos. But tell me, are you excited for this? Are you ready for this? Are you ready to see a flippening from Osmosis to displace projects like Chronos or Arbitrum? Because I think that we do need to see representation in this top 10 from a Cosmos ecosystem project. And I don't mean like unearned equal outcomes. I mean the Cosmos has been working for it, and I think that they've earned their shot. The Cosmos ecosystem has earned its shot, and I think that Osmosis is going to be the most likely to join that. That said, Terra and the Terra ecosystem and the UST seigniorage algorithmic stablecoin, it is perfectly tied into the Osmosis product and the Cosmos ecosystem. It is directly bridged into the Cosmos ecosystem. So I think we're going to see plenty of liquidity come from Terra and be shared across Osmosis or Cosmos projects. But are you ready to see that? I think I am. I think that's what I see happening very, very soon. Again, as you know, I want to do, as I prefer to do, going into order of stacked protocol ranking or stacked protocol support, we've got Ethereum, BSC, and then Polygon. But Avalanche is coming up so fast with 141 protocols supported, nearing Polygon's 173. But as we saw before, we're going to have huge names like the Associated Press jumping on board with Polygon to create their own platforms natively on Polygon, and then allow for the commit chain to write those changes from Polygon over to Ethereum every 30 minutes. So we will see, even though the Associated Press is building on Polygon, they will be represented on Ethereum by virtue of that fact, because Polygon is a dedicated scaling solution for Ethereum. Latrell says, IBC gang, thanks, MYB. Hey, appreciate that, man. Yeah, you got to give credit where it's due. Cosmos and the IBC gang has been putting in work for years. Cosmos and Tendermint are non-trivial pieces of technology that the industry is noticing. They've put in the work. It's time people notice. And just saying, I notice it, and behind the scenes, I'm hearing all about it. Harmony in the stacked ranking is doing quite well, also based on protocol support, but not quite as much TVL. So, guys, things are shifting very, very quickly, and I do think that protocol support is a leading indicator of where TVL will go in the future. Sometimes TVL can help, but I think that's the tail wagging the dog. I think protocol support does come first. That was the case for BSC. That was the case for Ethereum, right? They proved usefulness in DeFi first, and then the money showed up. So I think that's how that plays out over the long term. That's why I'm so bullish on Polygon, is because clearly other projects are bullish on Polygon. They see dollars following as well, and they want to be part of ecosystems that have plenty of headroom for growth ahead of them. So yeah, that's my take on DeFi, guys. Hasn't changed very much. I think you'd have to show me something very, very different to change my mind about it, because this is history repeating itself, right? 1, 2, 3. And I think that we will see that change over time. That said, again, moving back to the TVL measurement, Terra did displace BSC in the number 2 spot with only 17 protocols, but that could happen when you have a stablecoin, right? A seigniorage algorithmic stablecoin as one of your core protocols that supports. We've got Anchor, right? We've got Lido. That said, Anchor really is the biggest one, right? It is the literal anchor of their TVL. So maybe I'm just talking out of my rear end there. But yeah, I do see UST as being a very transformative thing. Allbridge, right, is the only thing that's shared across so many others. I don't think it should be considered the most impactful thing. Mirror and Lido are shared as well. Everything else is pretty much an exclusive to Terra. So maybe I should be paying a little more attention to Terra as well. Maybe I should take a bit of my own advice there and be careful. Ravenboy Crypto is in the chat. Thanks for saying hello, man. Glad to see you here. Thanks for spending time with us. Take a look at the cost to mine one full Bitcoin. Our typical, what we call the average price of power, 14 cents per kilowatt hour, is simply not enough to keep your Bitmain Antminer S9 running in the current profitability scheme. Yeah, if you've got an Antminer S9, you are no longer going to be able to mine at home. Well, not for very much longer anyway, unless you definitely have power at a rate of below 11 cents per kilowatt hour. And even if you do, if you're only at about 8 cents per kilowatt hour, that means that you're carving off precious little profit if you have to sell off month over month. That said, if you're mining Bitcoin, there's always the possibility that you could either wrap your Bitcoin, throw it into some kind of a DeFi liquidity or DeFi yield platform, or you could just park that Bitcoin onto a lending platform, though that's not my favorite thing. I'm going to say something that might be controversial, might rustle some jimmies. You guys ready for this? Having wrapped Bitcoin in a DeFi yield platform is better than using something like Celsius to get dollars from your Bitcoin. Fight me. Just kidding. Don't fight me. Let's just talk it out. All right, guys, that's my take on it, though. I do think that DeFi platforms, they offer liquidity to people who need it and still give you sovereignty over your keys. This is why I'm so excited about DeFi platforms, guys. It gives us the best of both worlds. Now, you have to be careful about which one of these platforms you're using. You have to be careful about whether or not you have your Bitcoin tied up in a smart contract that could be abusive or could be scammy, could be run by dangerous people. But I'm going to stick by that what I said before, guys. If you own the keys to whatever your EVM platform, your EVM wallets are, and you own the keys to your Bitcoin, you can park your Bitcoin into a wrapped Bitcoin representation on DeFi, and then you can use the value of that Bitcoin in DeFi to collateralize either a loan or provide liquidity and then get yield. There's so many other options, guys. We do not need to look at centralized options. We do need to continue to push through to better platforms to do this. Paper Jason says right now on Drip, Drip on BSC is making it rain for the last 9 months in all the pools they have. Hey, that's cool. I'm not familiar with Drip, but maybe we can take a look at that in our portfolios in just a second here. Yeah, guys, let's see what other entry-level models we have here. Let's go with the Canaan. The heck? It's funny that they jumped to the 1047 because that's not quite equivalent to... There we go. Yeah, 37 terahash. Not quite equivalent to the Antminer S9. That's funny. That's really funny that they just jump ahead. The other ones are all entry-level. So, yeah, such as the WhatsMiner. See, the WhatsMiner M10? Also not quite equivalent. But yeah, 14 cents per kilowatt hour is going to get you barely mining on the other ones. Guys, moving on to our portfolio, or rather to what to mine. Looks like in bad news, profits are down still, right? See that? Take a look at the 24 hours. We're looking at only $4.58 if we are at 14 cents per kilowatt hour, right? That's always the caveat. On this show, you know I like looking at the worst case scenario there first. 14 cents per kilowatt hour, far more realistic for most people across the United States than a guaranteed 10 cent per kilowatt hour figure. How do I do that math? Well, you take a look at everybody's power rate across the United States, and instead of saying, yeah, you could get 10 cent per kilowatt hour power everywhere, we take a look at the median of what people are actually paying, right? And they could be paying upwards of 20 cents, 22 cents in some gouging markets like Los Angeles or New York. And then we figure out the total population of people who could be mining, and we figure that across all the other markets where you're going to pay maybe, if you're lucky, somewhere between 6 and 8 cents. And that's great if you can do that. But if you can't, well, that means that you're somewhere in between. You're probably closer to 14 cents per kilowatt hour. So that's why we stick with that, guys. Definitely appreciate you understanding that I don't like just telling everybody they can definitely go find 6 cent power in their market. It may not be possible. You might be able to find 8 cent power, and I will stand by that, but you're not going to be able to mine at home anymore for many people who are watching. You will have to go and form relationships, get a warehouse, possibly put your name on a lease, or sublease a corner of somebody else's warehouse or manufacturing level facility that has heavy power run to it. And chances are, yeah, they're not going to let you do that for free. They may ask you for profit sharing. They may not be as safe to leave your equipment with as you'd like. Any number of things can go wrong there. So just saying, guys, it's not as easy as some people try to make it out to be. If you got like 5 gigahash or 10 gigahash worth of mining rigs of mining GPUs, then sure, you're definitely earning enough that you can go and just put your name on a lease, go do your own thing. But if not, if you are below that level, you have to be much more careful about where you put your rigs and who you do deals with in order to get that cheaper power rate. But at 14 cents per kilowatt hour, even the RTX 3090, a $3,000 card, is making less than $5 a day. Ouch. You hate to see it. Looks like the A5000 has been added to the lineup, and you do love to see that. That's great. Absolutely great to see that. But it's not doing quite as well as it could be. Hopefully we do have the A4000. Yep, it's listed as well as of the latest What to Mine updates. Great to see that change. But going on down the list, guys, that A5000 has displaced the Radeon 7 as the number 2 in terms of daily profit. Going down the list, though, it looks like the A4000 is just below the Radeon RX 6800, but ahead of cards like the 5700 XT, and ahead of the RTX 3070, 3060 Ti, and the 2080 Ti. So definitely in the money there. This has become the sweetheart, right? The A2000, or the A2000 and the A4000 become the sweethearts of the GPU mining space. Why would that be the case, guys? If you haven't been paying attention to some of the other content out there that is showcasing some of these cards, why would that be the case? Well, as you may recall from some of my content from 2018, workstation class cards. And this was a play that I shared with clients who retained my services as a consultant. But workstation class cards, surprise, surprise, hold their value. So if you need collateral, hardware collateral, to be able to run a mining business and know that you've got kind of a safety net beneath you for when it's time to either close up shop or it's time to recuperate your costs, well, guess what? Those GPUs do a darn fine job of helping you to stay solvent, right? To have some kind of a collateral that will prevent you from getting wrecked in the event of your crypto not being as valuable as you thought. So that hasn't changed. Workstation class cards are still the best kept secret in crypto, but, cat's out of the bag. Everybody else is talking about it too. Even Bits Be Trippin' and Son of a Tech are talking about it now. So there you go. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that workstation class cards are where you can go to maintain some of your resale value well past the mining craze and gamers wanting some of those cards. All right, guys. Was that me throwing shade on my friends? Not at all. Not at all. They were just focused on other things, guys. Not me throwing shade at all. But yeah, it's cool to see people talking about it. The A4000, though, as it is right now, primarily making itself good for Ethereum, right? Dagger Hashimoto. Where is the hash rate, dominance for coins like Flux or Bitcash, right? Or Ergo. Well, it's not on the A5000, or rather it is on the A5000 for Ergo, but it's not on the A4000 or some of the other cards. Scroll on down the list, take a look at the A2000, right down here, 6 gig A2000. Looks like it is back into Autolycos, right, for Ergo, but not Flux and not Ravencoin. They're not particularly strong on these algorithms, and they're single slot cards in the case of the A2000. So you're not going to get quite as good a cooling property from that heatsink and fan. Even with the listed numbers here, you got 39 megahash, but at only 80 watts. So it's just a beast in terms of efficiency. That's pretty amazing to see that. Yeah, definitely amazing to see that. But it's cool to see them listed here. Hopefully we can see more workstation class cards listed on Team Red as well. What do you think, guys? Should we ask whattomine.com to put numbers for Team Red workstation cards? Would you like to see, like, for example, the Vega series workstation card? Because there is a Vega series workstation card. There are some dual core workstation cards that have Radeon or that have Vega series processors and HBM memory in them. Do you think we should be demanding to see those as well? Because if they're going to put the A5000, I mean, it's cool that other mining content creators are talking about them, but if they're going to put that there, for the value proposition, we may as well see the Team Red cards as well. What do you guys think? Could be that their data set just goes out of control trying to keep track of all this stuff, but I think I'd be interested in seeing that. You tell me in the comments, guys, and maybe we can all petition What to Mine together. Or What to Mine if you catch wind of this segment, right? If somebody links you to this segment, please consider it. They're great AMD workstation class cards that could be listed here and that are very performant. But moving on down the list, we've got at the very bottom of the list that R9 380 4 gig card. It's back in the money. It's not at zero, but it's not very high either. You need to consider getting rid of those. Any of these bottom tier cards, you need to consider getting rid of potentially. Bits Be Trippin' is taking some of these Polaris 4 gig cards that are in his mine. He's got thousands of them, and he's putting them into single phase liquid immersion cooling tanks to be able to overclock them and just wring every last bit of performance out of them. And I think that's one of the smartest possible things he can be doing. My hat goes off to him. That's just brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant move, right? Use it up all the way to the end of its useful life. Get all the crypto you can out of that material, out of those cards. I think is making a phenomenal choice there. But yeah, moving up the list, guys. What are our typical coins in this lineup on GPU mining? We got Ethereum Classic, Zero, Bitcash, Ergo has come up more than once. Beam here on the R9 Fury. It's kind of an oddball. I don't think I see it anywhere else for any other card profile. Something about the R9 Fury makes it suitable for mining Beam at about 28 cents a day. But yeah, Bitcash again, and then Nimic. Nimic on the Argon 2D Nimic algorithm. It's doing pretty well on some of these Team Green cards. I don't think I'm seeing it on many of the AMD cards, but something about NVIDIA is favorable for this algorithm as well, and for Nimic as a crypto. What do you guys think of that? We should probably add that to our lineup if we don't have it in the portfolio later on. Firo is showing up for the 6600. And as well as, let's see, no, that's pretty much it. Equilibria would be the last one that we're missing there, I think. Ergo, of course, Flux on the 2080 is doing okay. Parallel Assets should put that into really good territory. Interesting that ETH is not on this stacked ranking for the RTX 2080, but Flux, I think, with the Parallel Asset payout, should put it ahead in the long run of these two that are entered for the RTX 2080. You guys tell me what you think about that, though. Anybody mining Flux with the hope that it will outpace profit of other coins in the long run? Conceal also showing up like on the 3060 Ti LHR model, but that's about it as far as our alternative coins that are showing up and kind of not the typical GPU mining coins. Yeah, I think that's going to be about all we see there. You guys tell me, though, what you think about mining Flux if you are on, say, a 6900 XT as we see it there, or the other card profile we saw it for, the RTX 2080. Are you still mining Flux, and are you doing so with the hope that Parallel Assets and future gains will put it ahead of some of these other coins? I'd love to hear your feedback on that. My take is, if you are definitely committed to Flux as a coin, if you're definitely committed to Flux as an ecosystem, then yeah, if you're in for a penny, why not be in for a pound? That makes sense to me. But you tell me what you think in the comments, guys. Moving on to our next bit for today. First off, though, before I do, let me just ask you, if you're watching, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. It does help. It lets the YouTube algorithm know this is content that's helping you and that you think other people would benefit from as well. And then if you're not subscribed, which my analytics tell me a good percentage of people who watch all of my media are not subscribed, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and then click the bell icon to turn on all notifications, not just some, but all notifications. It'll show you notifications on the top right-hand corner of YouTube, and even if you don't want to watch these shows, it at least helps this channel to notify other people in the same way. I know it sounds weird, but the more people who do that, the better this channel performs. And we are going to be expanding into other content as well very, very soon. So attention matters, guys. All the clicks count. Thank you so much for doing that. All right, guys, moving on to miningpoolstats.stream. Here's the latest history of the mining hash rate on Ethereum, just up and to the right over the last year, guys. Since the beginning of January 2021, Ethereum has just been continuing to rise in hash rate. And this almost goes counter to some of the logic. You would think that because of Ethereum's potential move to proof of stake in the relatively near future, that the hash rate would just be dying off over time. And people will just give up. There would be so-called weak hands in the crypto mining game, in the GPU mining game, but we're not seeing that. The GPU mining game for Ethereum is as strong as it's ever been. In fact, it's getting stronger over time. Let's take that chart that I have there, and let's kind of narrow that range into about half the amount of time. And now we start to see just the end of last year into right now. Ethereum mining has continued to go up. Consistently, very consistently. It's nearly doubled in that amount of time for hash rate. So it begs the question, where are all these people coming from, first off, and what will it take to shake them out? And then some other coins, some other questions would be like, hey, when is this going to shift? Liquidated Shorts is in the chat, says, hi, Popeye. Well, hello there, son. Sorry, I should call you nephew. Sons are taken, even if you were a father before most other people in this space. But hello there, Liquidated Shorts, my nephew. Good to see you in the chat. Thanks for saying hello. Latrell says, is there any GPU mineable coins that you think make for an interesting spec mine? I appreciate you asking that. And speculative mining, I think right now, it is it's an extremely high risk for people who are just getting into the space. If you're already established and you've already been able to pay off your equipment, then obviously take some time. But here is my take on speculative mining coins. I was on the Compass Mining podcast with Bidsby Trippin a few days ago, and he mentioned that he's got about 10% of his current fleet that he makes available for mining speculatively. And in his case, that's roughly 250 GPUs. So it's not like he's working with so many GPUs that he's definitely going to destroy an entire network. But he could if he were not careful. And he does rotate. And what I'm going to say is, if you've got a mid-size farm or below, potentially consider going a percentage of your time into spec mining, and then just look for coins that are coming up. Something that can be done as far as a strategy there is to keep a listener bot open on bitcointalk.org for upcoming proof of work launches, and then look for something and try to sift through all the data yourself, or join a Discord channel or a Telegram group that is dedicated to doing the same thing and trying to evaluate some of those projects for you. That way you don't have to worry about doing all the vetting. Now, do I have a ready recommendation today? I apologize. No, I do not. We are going to take a look at some of the fundamentals for projects that are already in flight. See, Liquidated Torch says, when do you think good graphics cards are going to be affordable again? What do you recommend for simple mining? Let's see. Ravenboy Crypto says, I use my 380 for spec mining normally, but right now I'm just mining Flux. That's awesome, man. Love that you're just mining Flux. That's great. But let's see. Jumping back in, got a question from Liquidated Shorts about when do I think they're going to be affordable again? I wish I knew, man. I really don't know when good GPUs are going to be affordable again. We had this problem last bull run. I think it'll take a few months of serious price suppression or like seriously decreased price in the Bitcoin and Ethereum markets to be able to see prices go down for GPUs again. But they will go down eventually. All markets are cyclical. Real estate, stocks, commodities, cryptocurrencies, hardware. These markets didn't used to be cyclical, right? Like hardware markets never used to be cyclical. It was like, is that a 6-year-old graphics card? Yeah, it's dead. It's a piece of junk. But now it's like, no, it's a workhorse. It's going to earn you money by mining Ethereum. Some of the old rules have kind of gone out of the window. So maybe I should take that with a grain of salt. Maybe you should take that with a grain of salt. It could be that we need to see, intensely decreased Bitcoin and Ethereum price to see those GPU prices go down. But gotta say, nobody knows. Nobody's crystal ball can tell you for sure when that will happen, right? So unfortunately, we got a big problem there. Let's go ahead and jump in miningpoolstats.stream. Let's take a look at some other items here. Flux mining in particular. I want to take a look at the historical hash rate chart for Flux mining. I think this is instructive to let us know kind of what to expect right now. There was a pretty significant jump in difficulty for Flux mining on Miner Pool. This is reported by Son of a Tech. Huge shout out to Matt from Son of a Tech. Sorry, Blind Run from Son of a Tech, about how the difficulty for Miner Pool went up. But first off, it's almost 50% of the known hash rate. We should be diversifying anyway. So that's first off, right? We don't have to do that, right? Your earnings are going to be the same. If you go somewhere else, Flux Pools is apparently right here in the United States. 2 Miners is in Germany, right? Support good pools if you think they're doing good work. All right, let's bring that up, text size up, and then open up our hash rate history, guys. Dark mode here is brought to you by Dark Reader. I am a huge fan. I think anybody who hasn't loaded this into your browser, I really think you should. But you see, it helps us get dark mode where otherwise it's not available. And for streaming, it's, it can be a welcome addition. Let's see. Liquidated Torch says, someone told me NVIDIA 3060 or something were okay. Yeah, the RTX 3060 is really not a bad choice. The 3060 Ti is not a bad choice. But Liquidated Torch, to answer your question as directly as possible, right now, I have been saying for months that anybody who's just considering getting into mining is going to get gouged trying to buy brand new graphics cards, I would be very cautious if I were you, and I would search for a deal. As we continue to crab sideways in relatively low crypto pricing, you should be able to find more deals. That is a reality right now. There should already be some deals. I'd be really cautious if I were you buying graphics cards right now. Guys, on this channel, I'm not comfortable just telling you like, hey, go get these brand new graphics cards and here are all my Amazon links and, you know, and buy hard drives when everybody else is talking about Chia. I'm a lot more of a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of guy. And guess what the rumor is right now? The rumor is that crypto is actually in a bear market and that crypto is actually going down in price month over month. And on this channel, we talk about that very openly. We don't tell people to go out and be irresponsibly long on buying tens of thousands of dollars worth of hardware to mine cryptos that may lose tens of thousands of dollars in value in their market cap, or millions and tens of millions of dollars, or even billions of dollars in their market cap in that same amount of time. It's just super irresponsible. See, Shane Watson asks, have you still got a position in Age of Gods? I appreciate you asking that, Shane. That's a very candid question, and let me answer it as candidly. Yes, I do. I have not sold my position in Age of Gods. Should I have? Probably. I mean, I'm up. I probably should have sold, but no, I haven't sold yet. Thanks for asking, and yeah, for a bit of transparency, I won't characterize my position. I'm not gonna talk about how much it was, but I haven't sold any, so yeah, I'm not dumping on my followers, and I prefer good relationships and sleeping well at night. But thanks for asking, man. I appreciate that. I hope it's okay that I haven't sold. But yeah, haven't sold any yet. Maybe I should sell more aggressively when I'm ahead in profit. Maybe I should dump on my followers, but I don't. But miningpoolstats.stream, guys, we got Flux right here. And we're at an all-time high for hash rate. This is from the start of the Flux network. Let's zoom in a little bit and get in closer to the last year again, or maybe we just go really close to the same time frame as Ethereum mining. We can see that the participation in Flux mining has shot up over the last several months. Since November of last year, it just like took off, right? A couple of larger scale farms clearly have jumped on board and just exponentially increased the amount of participation. It has leveled off recently, right, in the last several weeks, but it is at an all-time high for participation, a lot like Ethereum mining. Why would that be? Well, I contend that it's at all-time high for hash rate because in this case, there is a correlation to the hash rate and the coin value with Flux. Which came first? I don't know that I know the history that well, but I think that the hash rate did start to go up as there were announcements from the team based on new functionality coming out in that coin, not just the same old crap that was available a year ago or a year and a half ago, but genuinely new features that are available in the Flux nodes. The recent announcement of NVIDIA support in their hosted stack, right, in the containerized code that can be run on the Flux nodes, having full GPU support for these containers and this distributed cloud, this decentralized cloud. That's huge, and that took real development work. And they've got other projects that allow you to deploy on the Flux network. That took real development, and I think that's in part why we're seeing this change and why we're seeing the increased participation in mining. People got excited, and then yeah, price went up. Let's see. But yeah, I think that that's the case. And then let's see if I can jump directly to it. Maybe I can, maybe I shouldn't. And just for demonstration purposes, I want to take a look at Flux versus Ravencoin. Now, do I have anything against Ravencoin? No, I really don't. I really don't. I think that it does one thing, and it does that one thing pretty well. That's nice. There's something to be said for keeping a very simple scope of what a coin is supposed to do. That's not a bad thing at all. Not in my mind. But I do think we have to take a look through the same lens that we take a look at other coins. I think we have to use the same measurements for Ravencoin as we do with other coins. Instead of just saying like, oh, well, something's going to be made of this soon. Or, eventually we're going to deliver something. Well, gosh darn it. When we look at it through the same lens, it peaked a while ago when there was ASIC or FPGA dominance on the network. And then it corrected afterwards, and then it came back up. But there have been kind of very, very weird movements. All right, let's try to get back into, is it September of 2021? It peaked and was at all-time high for its corrected algorithm, Kapow, for a short time, and then it retraced. And it hasn't recovered quite to that point since. So, yeah, moving back to roughly September of this year, and we see that it's mostly moved sideways since September of this year in terms of hash rate, with a recent slight pop upwards. I say slight, actually, it is significant. When we take a look at the actual numbers, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be talking out of my butt here, guys. That's not my intent at all. But yeah. Yeah, I don't see it being quite the same thing. It's not the all-time high, it's a local high for hash rate. But now, correcting all the way down to below previous levels. So I don't know, I'm not convinced. I think people are showing flagging interest in Ravencoin. And again, unpopular opinion, but I'm going to do the same thing I did with Shia. I think that we're right-sizing the interest in Ravencoin. I don't think it's a project without merit. I don't think it's a bad project at all. I think the leadership and the development team is very well-intentioned, and you're in capable hands if you want to follow this project. But I think that there has been an outsized amount of interest in it in the last year, and I think we're finally starting to see a correction in the right direction. Right? It's moving down in interest because it doesn't have all that much to offer right now. The idea that NFT platforms are going to be built for it, I'm sorry, you would need to have DeFi platforms as well for those NFTs to actually matter. If you're just talking about attaching an IPFS hash to an op return form or field, that's not what an NFT is. Not at all. That's a type of NFT, but that's not what NFTs are. That's an IPFS hash with a timestamp. That's a timestamp of a timestamp that can then be transferred to somebody else. But it's not a timestamp of a timestamp that offers any ownership rights or any additional encryption or any additional functionality unless you want to build all of that into the file that is uploaded to IPFS. Without getting too tricky there, guys, I'm just going to say, like, even a knuckle dragger like me can figure out a way to make that work. So that's what has me a little bit concerned. The Woody Allen phrase, right? I would never join a club that would have me as a member, and I'm a little bit worried about that. All right. Latrell saying the boys trying to get some mining rewards before the halving. Hey, it's not good call. It's probably true. Ravenboy Crypto says after the halving, I'm getting same as I was a couple days before with the difficulty drop. LOL. And I'm sorry about that, man. I really do feel bad about that. But I'm not shocked. I'm really not, guys. I think the fundamentals of Raven are catching up to it now. And I think the fundamentals of Flux are catching up to it now. And I think that's why we're seeing those two different directions. Raven is a great project, but I think we've stalled out in terms of what kind of value it really offers. I think we need to see more development and more partnership for it to continue to rise higher. Been saying it for a while, though. What? Ravenboy Crypto coming through. Oh, guys, I don't know why my real-time chat is kind of pooping the bed right now. It's not working the way I thought it was supposed to, as far as being on screen. But he says, mineyourbiz, by the way, we got a GitHub repo up and are starting to work on the Doge wallet you wanted. That's awesome, man. Yeah, so every bit of functionality that Ravencoin offers, we talked about this on the last live stream, every bit of functionality that the Ravencoin offers can be replaced by a wallet client for any kind of UTXO-based coin. It could be Litecoin, it could be Dogecoin, it could be Namecoin, it could be Bitcoin, it could be Bitcoin Cash if you wanted it to. And guess what? Bitcoin Cash actually did that already. So if you want to literally just go fork any of the open source wallets from Bitcoin Cash, that'll save you about 3 weeks of work. But yeah, that's awesome. Ravenboy Crypto coming through with some great news there. That's great. Jumping back into the comments here. I see some Gobblers are asking, are you getting ready to sign off? I have a feeling I am late. You might be a little late, but no, I'm not getting ready to sign off yet. Might be a little bit tired. And Latrell offers, this is great. He says, Son of a Tech was recommending to spend no more than $15 per mega hash. But that's the highest price, and he doesn't have the issue of being a brand new starter into mining. Yeah, that's true. He's got quite a bit of negotiating power, and that's not an excuse, though, guys. A lot of people are able to negotiate. Some Goblin Loser sending a $2 super chat saying, much love and keep on keeping on. Have a good one. Thank you, Some Goblin Loser. And guys, that goes obviously for the entire community. I know Some Goblin Loser is speaking to everybody. Yeah, these are trying times. Thank you for that. It's a huge morale boost. But Luttrell says, I should say that that is what he was using to determine to buy. Not that he would recommend that for everyone. Yeah, I would agree. I think that Son of a Tech is definitely much farther ahead, and he has a bit more fault tolerance in that he already has a lot of hash rate in production right now. So paying $15 per mega hash of hash rate, in my mind, that might even be a premium for what you would spend per mega hash. Let me bust open a calculator and try to articulate this maybe a little bit better. But for example, I would be more comfortable spending almost half that, somewhere closer to between $8 and $10 per mega hash. That said, you can't necessarily negotiate for that in the current market. So that's why when somebody asks me, hey, what should I buy right now? My first response is to say, if you're getting air quotes advice, or hashtag not advice from a guy on YouTube like me, for liability purposes, I'm just going to tell you don't buy anything. Straight up, guys, I'm not comfortable asking you to buy something that I wouldn't buy right now. And I don't buy hardware in bull markets. Full stop. Just hasn't happened. I acquired mining rigs that I was going to use in 2017, in 2016. I acquired mining equipment for what I was going to mine later on. I got to take that back. I did purchase something in 2018, but as mentioned earlier in the live stream, it was not consumer gear. And so I was paying really close to MSRP for what I bought. I didn't get gouged on it. And guess what? I resold it for the price I acquired it. So I've got some, I don't take any issues with anybody personally in the space, but I do take issue with that advice. I wouldn't give it. It's just not me. Somebody else can give it, and it'll be right coming from them, but that's not me. I can't do that. Just not the right choice for me, guys. All right. But that's Ravencoin hash rate. Yeah, thanks, guys, for that clarity. Also, I think you're totally right. I think that it is pre-having kind of run up, people saying, oh, maybe I can get more rewards, and then they really didn't. So I'm not shocked, guys. I think we're just correcting. That's the bottom line. We're just correcting. That's how that's going. Now, out of curiosity's sake, I want to see Ergo. I need to know, guys, because I've been turning a blind eye to Ergo for far too long, and we saw Cardano in the DeFi Llama rankings. I think that it makes sense to pay attention to Ergo now, even if I wasn't before. Guys, thanks for hitting that thumbs up button, by the way, and thank you. You can see at the top of the screen. Thank you. If you haven't already checked out the Hive OS or Hive On, do check it out using that link, or you can put in the code mineyourbiz if you haven't used it before, and you can get $10 credit to your account. All right, so we got Ergo kind of correcting as well. This is its full hash rate history, though, and it looks like, again, when we use that September figure, look at the last several months, it's on the decline. It is not on the uptrend. I think we're seeing a flight to hard assets. Ethereum, a steady march upward. Flux, a steady march upward. They offer great utility now. This is weird also. Look at that. A 4 terahash swing. I don't see the exact date here. I might have to turn off Dark Reader to be able to see the exact date there. But we're looking at October, November. So that's about 4 weeks. That's almost, we'll just say that's, yeah, it's four cycles right there. So maybe we got some literal weekend warriors here. That's strange. And I don't know what the difficulty adjustment is like on Ergo. What that may mirror the difficulty adjustment. That could be some pulse mining from larger groups that say like, all right, is difficulty down? Boom! We nuke the network. Oh no, difficulty went back up. We back off. Difficulty down? Boom! We nuke the network again. And rinse and repeat. That's what I think I'm seeing with a chart like that, guys. And this is, the data will set you free if you have a sense for how to interpret it. I don't know that I'm fully interpreting this correctly, but I think that I am seeing a story of pulse mining here. That's what I think I'm seeing. And kudos to the people who figured that out. Clearly it was more than one group, unless it was a huge mining farm that figured it out. But that's crazy. Kind of going away now. Not as consistent, because I think that whoever had command of that much hash rate just dropped off. I think it's that simple. They just dropped off and said like, nah, not enough profit here. I'm out. But yeah, I don't know what to expect from Ergo. I know that Ergo is trying to build something that matters. I just don't know that we're going to see it. Yep, there it is. Look at that. You can see it right there. It shows us the difficulty too over 6 months. That's 100% correct. Yeah. So difficulty kind of shifted, and that's how those the mining hash rate came in. They just pulsed their way in. Brilliant, man. I mean, some things never change, guys. That's the thing. Like, this is an old trick in proof of work mining. It was done back with Bitcoin as well, wherever possible. The difference is Bitcoin's difficulty adjustment is, a longer time frame. But you can also monitor to see how many, like, what the competition versus difficulty is as well. There are different models you can use to decide whether or not you're going to apply a lot of hash rate to these networks. And guess what? We live in a world that is nice hashable. So this could have been just somebody, like, if this is available on NiceHash, could have been somebody from around the world just saying like, oh, you know what? I'm ready to start mining now. Air quotes, mining now. They didn't go into their garage or use HiveOS or something to change things. They just jumped into their dashboard over on NiceHash and rented some hash rate, or took some of the hash rate they'd already rented and said, all right, I'm going to mine for about this long. And then they did this crap. Boom! Nuke the network. Bam! Just keep on dropping nukes as I saw difficulty change. Because you see, that's exactly inverse. See that? It's exactly inverse of the difficulty you see here, that difficulty pattern there. So, bravo, whoever did it. You got away with it. You made off like a bandit. Anyway. But, yeah. Guys, these are tricks that we need to be aware of. And people who are out there trying to get your crypto are going to use these tricks to get you out of profit. All right. Moving on from that side of our report today, guys, here's our CoinGecko portfolio lineup. We're here on the GPU portfolio, and it's up. It's in the profit, guys. Over time, we've stayed in profit. And what's been the most profitable? That's right, Flux. SafeCoin in a number 2. Even though it's no longer GPU mineable, it is now rebased to the Solana code base, but it has come up in profit. It's not nearly as high in profit as Flux, of course. Equilibria as well. Polygon up above $2. I love to see it. You love to see it. If you don't love to see it, if you're not happy for other people's success, ask yourself this question. Why are you so bitter? I'm being serious. Okay, I'm not being serious. That was a joke. But guys, Polygon is up above $2.30. Ethereum making a recovery in the last week after kind of getting punched in the face repeatedly. Thank you, Ethereum, for not going lights out and getting completely messed up. Ravencoin is down in profit consistently over the last 24 hours and 7 days, but it's crabbing sideways is all. It's above the entry point that we put into our portfolio, though, so it's not that bad a bet. It still just goes to show you guys, GPU mining, by and large, the winners of GPU mining have stayed winners for the most part. Moving down the list, though, our biggest loser is Haven. Haven it's just really taking a beating. It's come up over the last week, but it dipped below the $3 mark into serious value by territory. It just continues to have trouble with that algorithmic peg, that stablecoin peg for XUSD as well as XBTC. This is non-trivial stuff, guys. These are hard problems to solve, which is, I think, why it was so impactful when they did. Very, very impactful. John Hill saying, pump incoming. That's totally possible, man. Ravenboy Crypto, gonna go grab some din. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit, guys. I know I chose an odd time on a Sunday, kind of lazy Sunday, to go through this content. Appreciate you guys hanging out for as much time as you can. And let's see. Moving back into our portfolio, guys. Unfortunately, yeah, it's going to be that Haven entry that is the biggest loser right now. Wanted to make a special mention of the Synthetics BTC peg as well as TBTC. These are two different wrapped Bitcoin representations that I mentioned earlier on in this show might be superior to stuff like Ren BTC and definitely over WBTC. What is WBTC? First off, it's got $11.5 billion worth of market cap because that's how much Bitcoin is wrapped into this ERC20 token. but it's centralized. It's a lot like USDC or like Tether. This can be fully shut down by the programming team or by the leadership team of WBTC. RenBTC a little less so, but you see, it's below $1 billion market cap. Not many people really know about it. The same is kind of true of both SBTC and TBTC. SBTC is created by a team called Synthetics. Let me pop that text size up, but it's literally called Synthetics BTC, and you can read more over at synthetics.io. This is not sponsored, guys. This is not, they're not asking me to review this or anything. I just think it's really important to be aware of how derivatives can be made and how some of them actually show that they maintain their peg, right? We talk about synthetics and algorithmic stables, right? Or derivatives and algorithmic stables. And I think that Synthetics has kind of proven that it's done pretty well. Yeah, so let's take a look at what all they have here. These are all the synthetic coins, right? They've got different currencies, right? The Japanese yen, the euro, dollar, the Australian dollar, the pound sterling, and then the Swiss franc, as well as Korean currency, or the Korean won. And then Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, Cardano, Aave, Polkadot, and then an overall DeFi index. That's sort of all synthetically generated and then synthetically tradable on Ethereum. Right, so this is not me reviewing it per se, guys. I don't want to do too deep a dive here. Just want to say that I think that their protocol being a little more decentralized is an improvement over what we see with Wrapped Bitcoin, the WBTC ticker symbol, or RenBTC. I think it's better, and I'd love to get your opinion on it, guys. What do you think about that? Having Wrapped Bitcoin representations and Wrapped Ethereum and Wrapped other tokens that are less centralized. What do you think of that? Would you be willing to hold a portion of your Bitcoin in that way? Because that's why I added it to this portfolio. What do you think of that, guys? This looks like Raidenboy. So some Goblin Loser says, your comment thread for your on-screen is doing weird stuff. I see my super chat, and that is all. Oh, I know, dude. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I got to check out the CSS that I have, that I've got set up there, guys. I've been trying to dial it in for a while, and it's just not working out. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, yeah, it looks like Latrell's saying you're getting your money's worth on that super chat. Yeah, dude, right? That's the least expensive advertising you've ever needed to do in your life. Dang. Good thing nobody here is shilling. Yeah. Yeah, I've got to figure that out, guys, because I know that I had. Yeah, shoot. I got a custom frame rate. Got my. See if I can go ahead and refresh that. All right. Well, looks like we're gonna have to get that fully redone. Yes. Okay. Haha! I fixed it. There you go, guys. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Appreciate you making mention of that. I knew I needed to fix that, but I had a setting off in OBS there that I needed to fix a little bit. That is the nice thing about not being reliant on third-party services. Like, on the one hand, stuff can break. Like we know stuff can break, but on the other hand, man, it is so annoying to be reliant on some third-party service like StreamYard or like, Restream or something like that. Oh my gosh, it totally broke again. I spoke too soon. I regret everything. No. One of these days, guys. One of these days we're going to get it right. We'll see. It's hilarious. That's totally hilarious. Hey, dude, I'm streaming. Gosh. Okay, if you guys hear autistic echolalia, that's the word, that's the name of the behavior. If you hear echolalia in the background, sorry. Yeah, that's hilarious, though. Try refreshing it one more time. Maybe we can get basic access. I had basic access before, I thought. Read only. We'll see if we can get this worked out. No, it died again. Why would you do that? Nope. All right. Okay. Jeez. I'm not gonna touch it again. Whatever. Maybe it breaks, maybe it doesn't. But guys, This is the GPU mining portfolio. Let me know what you think about wrapped Bitcoin representations, RenBTC, wrapped Bitcoin. I think these are great ways to be able to participate in DeFi with your Bitcoin and participate in Web3. People who are complaining about Web3 not being a thing, it's like, well, you're not letting it be a thing. You're not understanding that it does require tokenization of other assets, and Bitcoin is a great starting point, I think. But you tell me in the comments, would you be willing to do that? No, I cursed it again. All right. Sorry about all the other chats disappearing there, guys. Sorry here, but I'm just going to disable that for right now being on screen. Hard drive mining coins, guys. We got storage at the top of the list. Everything is in the red, though. Generally, the entire portfolio is in the red, and only a couple things are actually up in the green. Got storage at 9% up over the last week. Leaves it a little bit in the money over time. But so far, these have not been good mine and hold, right? Mining and holding coins. Chia is struggling to get back over $100. It's 88% down, so just continues to get punched in the face and just bleeding and bleeding and bleeding, and no recovery. So maybe you've got a vision of the long-term roadmap of this coin, and if that's you, awesome. You've got more conviction than I do, but I just don't see it happening this bull cycle. Maybe in 5 years, and I'm being totally serious. Maybe in 5 years we'll see a recovery. CPU mining coins, guys, looks like we are overall in the money. Total profit and loss, or total P&L is generally positive. Raptorium is largely the reason that's the case. Same with Epic Cash if you're mining much of that. But that's pretty much it. Everything else has been a loser. If you're trying to mine anything else on CPUs, no joy. Or if you've been holding anything else that you mined on CPUs, yeah, sucks to be that person holding onto that coin. ASIC mining portfolio. GMT, hey, I'm not promoting it here. I'm just saying it's obviously in the money. Haven't manipulated this entry here into the portfolio. It's just up higher than everything else. Significantly more profit than Nervos, but Nervos with the strong fundamentals is showing really great price action. So who knows? Maybe that can reverse. Maybe we can see greater profits coming out of Nervos over time. But then Bitcoin is the last one in the money. Zcash and everything below it is in the red still. Biggest loser is Pirate Chain, still back into that extreme value buy territory at about 90 cents. I know there's some people who are huge fans of Pirate Cash. Got to ask in the audience today, guys, is there anybody here who's an actual fan of Pirate Chain? Are you one of those people who's just holding on for dear life with Pirate Chain, saying, oh, okay, one of these days it's going to be huge? I'm not seeing it be used anywhere. I'm not seeing any markets that say we definitely support Pirate Chain for payments or for remittances or for anything right now. It is entirely peer-to-peer, but not many other uses for it right now. Not many integrations for it right now. I really had high hopes for it, especially after interviewing Draith, part of the Pirate Chain leadership crew or community crew a while back, but I'm just not seeing it. You tell me if you have higher hopes. Am I missing something? Am I way off? But I'm seeing that Pirate Chain might be one of the more overhyped privacy coins in terms of actual adoption and usage. It's just not there in my mind. It's just not. Monero, for its faults, and Monero, for its low market cap, is at least being used. And they can prove it, right, with on-chain data. They can prove that the transaction volume is there. But I'm not seeing that with Pirate Chain, guys. Bytecoin as well. If anything, there's maybe proof of wash trading, but I don't know if there's proof of on-chain utilization. Same with a lot of the, some other coins too. Not going to get into the specifics about coins that I think are wash traded, but yeah, I think there's a problem with holding on to Pirate Chain right now. You guys tell me in the comment section if I got it wrong, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. FPGA mining, guys, Cardano is still the top dog. Just still in the profit, and then 0x Bitcoin doing its thing again. That high frequency and relatively high amount swing right now, it's in the money, almost doubled if you were just holding on to it, not doing any kind of trading. As per usual, we're going to take a quick look, guys, just because it is a study in how to swing trade. I think it's a study in how to swing trade. First off, you'd be up significantly if you just held on to it. 187 on a mother effing coin. Scrolling down, though, we see that high frequency swing of about 10 cents. That's what it looks like, 10 cents. But percentage-wise, that's not a whole lot. You'd have to know that you're on a platform where that kind of a swing makes sense for you to try to jump in and take advantage of. But over 7 days, again, it's the same chart as before. It's just consistent. It's programmed. So somebody's out there making themselves some crazy money on that on any platform where it's available for them to do so. Let me jump into the Polygon Scan Explorer. So polygonscan.com. And I think we've looked at this before. I just want to double check to see if it's possible that somebody has already bridged some of their 0x Bitcoin over to Polygon, because if they have, no, not OX, 0x, weirdo. Okay, I'm not seeing it right now. Not seeing it even with a dedicated search, so maybe not. Didn't hurt taking a look, but yeah, looks like it's not there. Digibyte kind of getting pummeled. Mimic, interesting that it showed up on the GPU mining profit charts, and that we're still listing it here as an FPGA mineable coin. All right, guys, those are FPGA mineable coins in a nutshell. Hey, bud, you want to come say hello to my audience? Okay, great. You're being loud enough. Come here. Come, yeah, say hello. He says hello, guys. Say howdy in the chat. Yep. Some Goblin Loser says, oh my goodness, 0x Bitcoin is going crazy now. Thanks, bud. I'm going to keep live streaming now. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. To where? Don't say the place. Dude, that's right. Yeah, so guys, we are talking about that's my son talking about us doing a live stream of some gameplay. So we want to be able to do that, but it sounds like the feedback I've gotten from you guys is we need to do that on a different channel, and I've heard that loud and clear. I think maybe for this first test that we might just go ahead and use this channel, because what we got available if we do any live streaming or if we post it to the web. We might just, what's it called? Live in the moment. Maybe we're just going to go have a life experience that isn't broadcast at all times, but I don't know. That's overrated. Ask anybody on Instagram. If you haven't composed a picture of your dinner and posted it online, then did you really even eat? I think not. There's no proof. All right, guys, back to our proof of stake smart contracts. Terra Luna is in the #1 spot. It's done significantly well on that 10x. It's held that 10x upward, and yeah, it's kept that side of the portfolio in profit. Phantom still in the #2 spot. Avalanche number 3. Solana, Harmony, Cosmos still not quite breaking into the top 5 for our profitability in this side of the portfolio, but Wax also displaced from the top 5. Still, Wax doing really great. Shout out to the homie Ken Bosak. Again, super impressed with what he's done there. Some of the other grassroots crew out in Philly and Jersey. Just some great, phenomenal community members out there who've been creating something from nothing over on Wax, and it's still a sub-billion-dollar coin. I mean, I was a doubter at first. I'm not going to lie, I was, but there are some people who've really made it work. So, I don't know. I guess good things happen when you make a blockchain that's just for NFTs. So, we'll see what happens there. I still think, personally, my approach and methodology is to lean towards using Ethereum and Polygon or Ethereum style chains because of the specific standards like ERC 721 and ERC 1115. But I think Wax has proven itself. I think that sometimes the market, people who are not like super like blockchain nerds or crypto nerds like us, they don't care. They just want to see that there's ownership rights and that it's easy to use. And I think Wax did that. So that's awesome. But Cosmos, guys, again, don't sleep on it. Back over $43 and continuing to grow. The last week has been exciting for Cosmos in a way that it's only been for, say, like Phantom and Terra, right? Going over the 20% mark in 7 days. Biggest loser on this side of the portfolio is still Internet Computer. Second biggest loser is still Neo at almost 60% down. I still don't understand it. EOS even has performed a little bit better, right? By over 5 basis points. So I don't know that I understand it. Zill also down on the list, and Ton Network. I know it's profitable to mine, but you must ask yourself the question, to what end? Why am I mining this? Is it a mine and hold, or am I mining it to sell it? And only you can answer that question, right? I don't have an answer. I don't want to like drive an agenda here, but I do see that a lot of excitement has kind of cropped up around Tokamak Network or Ton mining. And I'm just not seeing that that maybe it's sustainable. Maybe. Now, daily volume for trading might make sense. Let's take a look to see where it's being traded, though. And it looks like the majority of the volume is over on Upbit and then MEXC Global. Now, they've got a high trust score here on CoinGecko, but does that mean that it can't possibly be gamed? Does it mean that it can't possibly be manipulated? No, doesn't mean that. Beyond that, market depth is just as important as 24-hour volume, right? If you can't sell over a certain amount, you're going to struggle. But it looks like right now, the market depth is in the tens of thousands, at least on Upbit, but you're stuck only with Upbit. So yeah, I think for this particular coin, I want to open up Nomics, and then from Nomics, we can take a look at this coin. All right, Nomics, come on, dark mode, don't fail us now. Nomics of all places, good grief, really? Okay, clearly I changed Dark Reader. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry to destroy your eyeballs, but Tokamak Network, there we go. TON, there it is. And looks like it's a very different price that's being shown here versus CoinGecko. Not really sure what the disparity is there. Could be that there's not on-chain analytics to be able to prove it, and it looks like the transparency grade is D. Transparent volume is also 0. That's in part, I think, where I get a little bit doubtful, a little bit dubious of certain projects, is when you don't have a provable transparent volume. So for all you know, everything happening on this chain could be entirely wash trading. That the value as we know it right now is entirely propped up by fake trading volume. Or yeah, even the market depth is being held up by a couple of whales trading with each other for that depth. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm not sure. You tell me in the comments. Are you excited about TON? Are you mining TON? Do you think it's got a future? I don't know. I'm not sure. But what I see is that it's not. I'm less excited about it, guys. I'm less excited about it than I am for some other truly decentralized projects that actually solve scaling network scaling problems on Ethereum right now. Tokamak Network, I really do feel like is too little, too late. And while it is profitable to mine right now, and more power to the people who are mining it, I think that we may look back at it in a couple of years, just like we did when it launched a couple of years ago, and say, okay, I mean, it exists. What else can you say about it? I'm just not that excited. That said, who knows? Maybe things will turn around. Maybe developments will happen, and it will deliver something, some kind of milestone that will silence me and all the other doubters. We'll see. But yeah, it's there on this list, guys. Let's take a look at our junk drawer side of the portfolio and see if there's any standouts here. We haven't added much to this side of the portfolio recently, but we do have Saitama Inu that is still out there punching faces. If you put $1,000 in, you'd still be close to $1 million if you had just hodled. Now, if you had traded a little more high frequency, you would have walked away with $1.5 million and then still had something to let ride here. But going down the list, guys, I mean, usual suspects are doing really well. The Floki Inu and UFO Gaming, Luffy, Dojilon Mars, Zio, Hex, and Shiba Inu, they're all in the money still. It stops being in the money and starts going in the red at DYDX, and our biggest loser is unfortunately still Bone and then Quick as well as Dragon's Quick. Though there is a bit of positive price action over the last 7 days for these projects, so while it is relative to the first entry that we put into these portfolios, down, if you are still holding and you're trying to earn APY from some of these projects like Reef, or say Thorchain or DeFi Yield Protocol, anything that offers yield, maybe you're doing okay. Maybe you're feeling good about your position. But as all of these are, unminable coins, unless you were using mining to get a subsidy on these, you did pay full sticker price for these when we made the entry, and so this might sting a bit. Throwing that out there, guys. Appreciate you watching all the way to this point, guys. Definitely appreciate you also hitting the thumbs up. If you're lurking, hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon, and turn on notifications, guys. You're the reason to make this media. It's very, very helpful when you do that. All right, last little segment we have here is taking a look at our Bitcoin chart. And on the Bitcoin chart, we still have the chopsticks down towards the below $40,000 range, and we missed. We missed, guys. We tried to snap something up, and we missed. We're still in this yellow range, and yep, this, to me, kind of confirms what we suspected. Yes, we did hit a crossing point here. No, this is not the EMA, so this is not technically a death cross that we're seeing here. Not as I have it outlined here. But the MACD is showing a bullish divergence. We are seeing in the histogram a growing bullishness, but we could see a correction right now. We could continue to bounce downward, guys. That could absolutely happen. We could just see a smaller pattern to bounce back downward again. We saw it before, right? Little double bounce moving off up on from the top side of this little descending triangle that I slapped together with these dumb chopsticks. So I think we're still not out of the woods. I think we could still absolutely move downward. We could bounce downward along this trend line. And I wouldn't be shocked by that in the least. So I'm just going to extend this. And we're going to see what happens over the next several days before we go live again. It could be that our chopsticks actually do snatch something up right here somewhere in the below $40,000 range. Would I rather see Bitcoin at a higher price? Maybe. I've got belief in the long-term vision and mission of Bitcoin. I think it's going to do really well in the long run. But yeah, I'd also rather get some value buys of Bitcoin. So I'd love to see it go lower into this green range here, right? That to me is, green means go. That's where I would love to buy. So without trying to will it into existence, right? Like, oh, please Bitcoin, go on sale. It'd be cool if it did. And we've had plenty of people say it's possible for it to go below this point, to go to $20,000, to go to $15,000, and if it goes to 15, to possibly lose support and free fall all the way down to like 10. I don't know about that. I really don't know about $10,000 Bitcoin. I think if we do get close to $15,000 Bitcoin, that's a phenomenal value buy. And even that is like a doomsday scenario. But $15,000 Bitcoin is a phenomenal value buy. And if you get upset because you didn't wait for $10,000 Bitcoin, I think, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. That's as near as I can tell. The cost to produce Bitcoin right now is close to $14,000, $15,000. So you're getting a deal when you get it at the price of production. But guys, that's my live stream for today. I appreciate you giving me your feedback, guys, asking questions. Do you have any other questions for me before I call it a stream? Because I can answer any additional questions that might come in. While we're still live, I like to take questions. Do this for the community. I do a lot of content that is for sponsors these days. I'm not going to apologize for that, guys. It's nice to be in demand. It's nice to be wanted. You know what I mean? It's nice to have your opinion valued by crypto projects and by NFT projects and video game projects. So I'm going to have to continue to do that. But you know that when we do these live streams, this is 100% for you. So if you have questions or if you want to bring in additional community members and bring in noobs for questions, like this is absolutely the time. Let's see what we got so far by way of content or comments rather. Latrell says, I'm not mining TON yet. I usually wait until after all the value is gone before I move to a network. Smiley. That's funny. Says, thank you. You've helped out a lot. I appreciate it. Yeah, my pleasure, guys. I apologize. I don't mean to be like discouraging for any other coins or projects, but I do like to try to talk very realistically about what we can mine at a profit and what is not mining at a profit, instead of instead of just trying to say like, well, it worked for me, so it must work for everybody. Crypto, unfortunately, is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Bitcoin is. But crypto, capital C, getting into it as a lifestyle and speculation and investment and trying to figure out where you can carve out a niche for yourself. No, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. So yeah, try to issue those caveats there. Some Goblin Loser asks, what are your thoughts about ETC? I hear people talk about the devs upgrading to a new algorithm. Yeah, that's awesome. If the devs do update to a new algorithm on Ethereum Classic, I think that it potentially could be disruptive for mining. That could be very, very helpful. They've been talking about it for a while, though. Talking about SHA-3 for a while. And yeah, that could come with its own set of problems. In the same way that Monero moved to Random X, right? Moved to a CPU mineable algorithm. And for as many problems as that solved, it also reintroduced botnets to Monero, right? The threat of botnets. Now, instead of it being like just the average computer with only, say, 4 gigs of RAM or some small amount of RAM, so anybody's laptop or anybody else's computer, it would require that botnet creators attack larger data centers with larger amounts of memory per core, right? Or per processor or per system, right? Even if it's just like a virtual machine or a virtual private server that's somehow provisioned, illegally or, without permission. So Monero introduced new problems by changing hashing algorithm. And I think that with Ethereum Classic, we might see that the same thing happens, that there are unintended consequences. And so, yeah, that might not necessarily be a good thing for them to change algorithm. But if you just started mining it, it's currently on Dagger Hashimoto, so it's really no different in terms of the performance profile of your GPUs. No different to mine Ethereum Classic than it is to mine Ethereum. What do I think of it, though? I think there's not enough developer support. I think if there were enough developer support, we would see it in a couple of conspicuous places. Let me point to just one. Yeah, let me point to just one place that I think matters probably above anything else. And switch my screen over to it now. Here. I think this is, you can see, very top, that's Ethereum Classic on the DeFi Llama page. And it's not that it would just be here, but I think that Ethereum Classic would need to show support from several protocols. See, right now it's got Swapcat. And I mean, cool story, bro, but how many tokens run on top of Ethereum Classic that people are actually using, right, on Ethereum Classic? How many day-to-day average users are talking about Ethereum Classic being the spot that they go to commit liquidity into pools and to do swaps and trades and to store their NFTs? Because that is synonymous with Web3 and DeFi right now, all those things. But it's not happening on Ethereum Classic today. I'm going to levy the same argument against Ethereum Classic that I did against Ravencoin. And it pains me to do it because I know the developers on both of these teams are really good people working really hard to try to build something that is valuable. But there's not enough interest from A, partners, and B, the average market participant to bring Ethereum Classic into relevance. There's just not. There's not enough concern. There's not enough. People just aren't using it enough. Plain and simple. And the same is true of Ravencoin. And I think wishing for it to be so, or thinking that hash rate will bring that level of market interest, well, we're seeing that that's definitely not true. When I was on the Compass Mining podcast, I elicited a couple of eye rolls from people when I said, yeah, I'm looking at proof of stake networks because we have to take them seriously. But guys, we do. Polygon is proof of stake. Guess what else is proof of stake? Phantom, Avalanche, and not Ergo itself, but the mother network that it relies on, Cardano, Terra Luna, Solana, everything in the top 7 or top 10 of the proof of stake or the mining, the smart contract ecosystem. Everything there, all of it, it's all dependent on proof of stake. Unfortunately, do I love that? Heck no, I don't love that. That really bothers me. But that's the reality. And to say like, well, no, it has to be, proof of work is what brings what brings relevance. That was once true for Ethereum. But even Ethereum is going to move to proof of stake, meaning that everything you see in this list, Terra, Phantom, Avalanche, Solana, Harmony, Cosmos, Wax, Moonriver, BSC, Polkadot, Polygon, Tron, Kusama, Cardano, now a lot of these, Chainlink will move to a proof of stake backed ecosystem as an Oracle ecosystem when Ethereum does, right? But Tokamak Network, ZIL is proof of work, and it's not proof of stake. EOS Neo, Internet Computer, all these are proof of stake, and the interest in them, the market interest in them is just huge, right? This change in market cap, this change in our holdings in this portfolio, it's not by accident. Look, everything that's in the money, there's literally only one project that is proof of work right now. And this is not me saying that there's no future for proof of work. Obviously, I'm a believer in it. But it is me saying that right now, there is no present in which proof of work outperforms proof of stake. That's just the absolute state of the market. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, Ethereum Classic, I see proof of work being a phenomenal design choice for them. I think it still is important and it's relevant and it's timely, and we should absolutely be trying to push for proof of work to maintain relevance. But us wishing for it to maintain relevance doesn't make it relevant. You know, if that makes sense. Anyway, it makes me sad, guys. It does. It makes me sad. But Ethereum being the center of DeFi is not necessarily because of the proof of work. It's good security. We know here it's good security, but that's not what makes it the center of DeFi yet. It is absolutely the network effect of it getting there first. BSC jumped in as soon as they saw an opportunity, and starting from day one on proof of stake, they've already jumped into the market. They jumped into the market for nearly 20% of the total value locked in DeFi. And it's been downhill for Ethereum since then, culminating in today at 60% market dominance, which we showed on the show. So guys, those are the realities. I think we need to take that stuff with a grain of salt, right? Well, we want to mine, and we will find good things to mine. But I think we need to pay attention to the status quo. All right, guys. Look forward to more content like this, where I'll be talking about what I think are the reasonable next steps if we're looking at what will provide value for us as system builders and doers and IT pros, people who want to maintain equipment to earn value for us in the new crypto economy. Got some content coming up about that, but spoiler alert, it may have something to do with Cosmos. I've been hinting at that for a while. All right, guys, appreciate you watching all the way to the end of the video. You're the reason I make this media. You know I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz.